So what I would have done here is, I think just my mind was, my brain was kind of getting like, what's the word? Kind of like brain freeze or brain fried. The hard part is this is like the edge of this. This is the edge of the kitchen, so she has no more room. What I could have done was I could have slid her down further more towards the fridge to give her more space, and then from there I could have used the force of 500 to be able to use more as like a backlight, right? So maybe something I would have done is I would have tried to bounce it up into the ceiling to kind of create like a little ambient glow, and that way, with doing that, she would have had a little bit more. She would have had a little bit more of like an edge all around here, and then I probably would have had enough like ambient exposure to be able to, bring level back here, and then take my 8x neg and brought it behind the camera, right, to be able to soak up as much as possible. I mean, she's really right next to like the wall. Like, what are you gonna do? It's a white wall, right? So you have to play to what you got in that kind of situation. Let's move on. Yeah, more gym stuff. Okay, here. All right, so dusk, right? See, the sun is pretty much going below the horizon, right? If you think of the horizon here, the sun's like basically like right here, right? It's pretty much going down. And this whole scene is her. I really wanted her to kind of, like walk in this space, right? And so what do? Backlight, right? Just backlight the whole thing. Again, no neg, no bounce, all natural. This is 6K full frame on the FX9, Sigma 24mm, right? To show the space. I'm pretty sure I was at a 2.8, some ND maybe, right? And again, this is what backlight gets you. But in the kind of situation when it's running gun, at least still use like composition and backlight are the biggest things for you. So at least we have right, leading lines, right? We have leading lines. We have some geometry, some shape in the back, right? As we continue to move along with this, right? So again, use the principles of cinematography to your advantage. We go back here. These next two shots are probably the most manicured shots, I would say. And the reason why is going back to schedule, right? Because now you can obviously see our sun. Our sun is in kind of like this position here, right? And it's giving us all of this, right? All this beautiful backlight. And then I think the longest setup was just fucking around with the blinds, like, closing this one halfway, leaving this one closed, opening this one a little bit more, closing this one, and back and forth, right? As far as lighting goes, I'll start with our neg, right? So again, this is the trick that I always use is neg behind camera. That way you're not getting any bounce back, right? And you immediately set up the camera on the shadow side doing that. We have our Forza 500. Where is it? Our Forza 500 is in this room on the Fresnel, and I aimed it here, right? So it's actually hitting the table, and because this table is reflective, it's automatically, giving you like bounce light back at her, right? So a free light. Then we have our aperture 120D, kind of tucked away in this left corner, and what it's doing is it's giving us this nice like little edge light here, right? And then that Forza 500 also, if I can go back, it's also giving you this, right? It's also giving you this little interest here on the ground. Okay, I'm moving for the close-up. Same. We move in for the close-up. It's the same setup. Didn't change anything. The only thing I added was a little aperture, not the aperture, the Forza. I don't even know I don't even know what lights I have anymore. The Falcon eyes, the 18TD, right? That little 2x1 light with the diffusion with the grid, and I have it like low, like less than like maybe 5%, right? And all that's doing is it's helping us wrap around the light, right? Helping us wrap around the light. Obviously, a little eye light here, a little catch light. And again, sometimes all you need is you just need a little bit. A little goes a long way, right? We're still using some of our principles, right? We're able to again create like leading lines, right? Leading lines. Even little foreground elements. Adding this little glass here of water helps out just to create layers, create some depth to a low budget project. And my neighbor is, you can hear the hammering. Again, gym stuff, right? We all seen this gym stuff. Okay. Last shot. Now we pretty much we shot this right after the walkout scene in dusk. And our son is probably in this kind of direction behind the house, right? And you can kind of, if you look closely, you can tell the trick I use, right? Look at the warmth of the windows here, and then look at the blue of this window here, right? That's weird. That's interesting. What's going on there, right? And so what we have actually is a 4x4 of magic cloth right behind the door here, or the window here. And then letting this kind of just play out, right? So does it look weird? If you stared at it long enough, yeah. But again, how long is this shot, right? Playing out 1002, 1003, 1000, or actually, hold on, let me go back. I can actually look at my time code. So 1, 2, 3, 4 second shot, not too long, right? And that's it. No neg, no nothing in here. Just that 4x magic cloth, right? We move in for coverage. Now we're on the 50 mil. Again, same thing, right? Just letting it play out. Finding that right angle for, you know, our like credit card shot. Here now you can see that magic cloth, right? Creating that like blueness to it. And then the other blinds is just messing around with you know, half open, half closed, quarter open, quarter closed, and that is basically giving us our key, right? Those blinds are basically giving us this level here. And then the room was so naturally like dark anyways that you're getting the ambient darkness from it, right? You're getting like all of this, crunch, all this, right? And then let's see, move on again, another over the shoulder, and same lighting setup, right? And so what could you have done this if you wanted it to look, maybe if you wanted more level here, I could have put the Forza 500 outside and then played around with the blinds, shot it through. Now that would have been too much light, so that I would have needed to soften that up, right? You can use whatever you got available. You know, I had an 8x quarter grid, a 4x quarter grid. I could have used either of those to soften up the light more. That's probably all I would have done. I wouldn't have brought a light inside unless I absolutely needed to, right? And so, you know, that kind of begs the question, right? It's like, when do you use lights inside and outside, right? Because if we go back to this shot, why didn't I put the Forza 500 outside, right? And shot more here? I didn't need to, because the sun was doing all the heavy lifting for me, right? The sun's coming in all the way here. I have all of these shades to work with, and this level is all good, right? Nothing's too dark, nothing's too bright, right? It's all where I wanted to, like, I wanted it in the pocket, right? And again, like, I think these were just like empty frames left in there and creating nice little reflections, right? So you get free reflections, right? And then that's it, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. At the end of the day, you know, whether you're shooting low budget or medium budget or no budget, it's one, understand your locations, understand the schedule, make the schedule yourself if you can, and then from there, decide, okay, what fixtures do I own? What fixtures do I have a budget to rent? Do I have any buddies that are open to lending me or letting me borrow their Aperture 300D or their Forza 500 or their 2 bytes for a night? And then just make the best of it as you can, right? So again, you can make pretty good stuff on really low budget, right? With just a couple of fixtures, a couple of grids, some neg, right? Time of day, and then also composition, right? I'm always learning new ways to improve upon my own work, right? And hopefully what you saw today can help you in some way, shape, or form, basically with knowledge, right? Saying like, I like this look, how can I do that in my next project? Or I don't really like this look, and so what did I do? And then you can just do the opposite of it, right? So again, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please leave it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel as always, just so you're notified of new content coming out. And remember, friends, every day you have an opportunity to create your experience and to write and tell your own story. My name is David Lee. I'll catch you guys in the next video.